Hello students and welcome back to our English slang video series. In this 20th video, we're going to cover a one-word slang term in English, relatively popular and pretty new on the scene in my view. It's called bet. All right, now you may be familiar with the noun or the verb in this case for bet in English, but we're going to talk about the slang word and the slang meaning behind it. And here we have an example on our cover page here for the video. When someone says, "You won't do it," me, bet. So you can kind of get an idea of what bet means in a slang context. We're just going to talk about bet. It's just going to be one word we're going to focus on, not so much in the vocabulary sense, but talking about how it's used as slang in the English language. So my name is Ben. This is our English slang video series, our 20th video in this series. And I'm with EnglishFromAtoZ.com, and let's get started. All right, so what does bet mean, okay? So we talked about it a little bit up front in this at the beginning of the video, but bet, what does it mean? Is bet is basically, it's when it's used as slang, we're talking about slang now, it is often meant to indicate agreement or approval, that you're agreeing with the person, or you're accepting their challenge, or you're getting their approval, or you're approving of what they're saying. It also refers to following through on something, like I mentioned, a challenge that you will do, that you're being asked to follow through with, whether it's a promise or an obligation or a commitment that you made. And we have an example here. Gina told Jake that he should do a skateboard trick on the railing before class begins. Jake said confidently, "Okay, bet." So, like in this case, Gina is challenging Jake. Jake probably is, hanging out on a skateboard, maybe doing a trick or two before class. And she's like, "Okay, Jake, why don't you go up on that railing and ride it with your skateboard, ride it down the railing." And this is before class begins. So hopefully they won't be late to class. But Jake is agreeing with her to fulfill the challenge, to fulfill what is being asked of him. So he says, "Okay, bet." Like he's when we look at bet as a word, it's like, yeah, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna follow through, and I'm gonna prove that I can do it. So I'll bet you. In terms of getting out of slang for a bit, betting is about being confident in making a decision or making a claim or an obligation. But in the slang context, we're just saying bet. We're not saying, "I'll bet you I could do this," or "I'll bet you I'm great at this." You're just saying, "Okay, bet." Bet can also be used as a verb or a noun. I'm not going to discuss it in this video per se, but in this case, when we're talking about the example I just mentioned, or when we're talking about generally asking for agreement or approval on what you're saying, or what somebody else is asking you or challenging to do, this slang term is indicating when you're doing an action or you're going through with an idea that you're confident in, that you believe you can do, that you're going to follow through on, meaning you're going to do it. You're not going to back down. You're not going to say no. Bet is kind of like yes in the slang terminology. Bet is like, "I bet you I could do this," or "I will do this," or "Yes, I will do this." You're just saying bet. So what does bet mean? It means to follow through with regards to an action or an idea when you're being challenged upon, when it's being challenged, I should say, or when you're looking to gain favor or gain approval through the action that you're doing, such as showing off a skateboard trick when being asked to do so. And you're being challenged on your ability or your skill set, so you could say, "Okay, bet, I'll do it," or "Okay, bet, this is going to be easy." So bet is kind of like yes, or "I will," or "It's done," or "Yes, I can do it." So bet is kind of expressing confidence in the slang terminology, especially when it comes to fulfilling a promise or an obligation that someone is asking you. Could be a friend, could be a family member, could be someone you just met. But bet is kind of the slang way that you could say in English, yes, or "Okay, sounds good, I'll do it, let's go," that kind of thing. So what does bet mean? It means to follow through when you're being challenged or when you're being asked to do something to fulfill a promise or an obligation. So thank you so much for watching. This was a shorter slang video, but I do enjoy doing these one-word slang words in the English language or slang terminology. There are a number of them out there. This is our 20th video. I hope to do many more. But if you're interested in our other videos, check out our great YouTube channel where we have videos from learning the entire English alphabet from the letter A all the way to Z, to Spot That English Error video series where we fix sentence and pronunciation and other errors such as grammar to improve our own skills. Please, if you like this video, if you enjoy it, hit the like button, and I'll say bet. I hope that you do. Let's bet on it. But no. Like the video if you enjoyed our video on bet. Hit the subscribe button if you want to learn about other channels or to follow us here on our YouTube channel and be the first to know about new videos. If you have any questions or would like to subscribe to our official English from A to Z newsletter, please go to our website, www.englishfromatozcom/newsletter. Thanks again so much for watching. I'll see you all soon for another English slang video. Take care now. And remember, when you agree to something, always say bet or yes. Thanks again. Take care now. Bye-bye.